And a morning explosion in the Bronx left a massive, gaping hole in a high-rise. Residents scrambled as the facade came tumbling down.
It happened at a NYCHA tower on Alexander Avenue in Mott Haven, where video shows an entire corner of the 20-story building rip apart. Amazingly, no injuries have been reported.
We have team coverage here tonight. Zinnia Maldonado is speaking with residents who've been forced from their homes. Let's begin our coverage with Devlin with the latest on the investigation and how this happened, Alan.
Yeah, Jess and KJ, everybody out here involved in Mott Haven are surprised, shocked, and thankful that nobody was hurt in this incident. But I'm going to show you as it stands right now. Here you can see part of Alexander Avenue remains shut down. And over here, NYCHA, FDNY, NYPD remain on scene investigating this apparent boiler room explosion that took place this morning. And if you look up here on this part of the Mitchell houses in the Bronx, you can see part of that collapse, at least what's left of it. And we've got video that shows the moments immediately after. Take a look.
As we was going up the stairs, we just heard a boom. It sounded like a bomb.
Video shows the moment debris plummets to the ground from 20 stories up and onto a dust-filled block in Mott Haven. The tail end of a partial collapse at this NYCHA building on Alexander Avenue.
And they say, boom, again. So it's the other part go down.
The rumble rocking the people inside.
Once it happened, I kind of like tripped. She tripped too, and then we just ran out the building. I'm like, I can't believe this.
It was a big explosion, and it's scary. It sounded like something blew up.
Initial reports from city officials point to an explosion in the boiler room around 8 a.m. Wednesday, which sent shockwaves up the chimney, causing the collapse. Rubble now sits at the base of a gaping hole along the NYCHA-controlled Mitchell houses.
And I say, oh my God, the war is ending. And I started jumping because I have a panic attack.
Amazingly, nobody was injured, but the primary concern now, making sure the rest of the building is safe.
Residents of the F and G lines in the building were evacuated, and other tenants can reoccupy the building at this time once we ensure the safety of the structure.
We will do everything possible to make sure that we minimize the disruption and the anxiety of the residents and the families here in this working class community.
CBS News New York found that according to city records, 205 Alexander Avenue has 2 active violations from the Department of Buildings dating back to 2020 for unsafe facades, the most recent February of 2024. Records also show 5 other NYCHA-controlled buildings were hit with similar violations in February of 2020 on the same block. Those buildings listed here. As cleanup continues and today's collapse remains under investigation, the anxiety of how much worse this could have been remains on the residents' minds as well.
I'm very scared. I want to know what's going to happen with the rest of these buildings, because I hope it's not, the same condition.
And coming back out here live in Mott Haven, you can see 2 different angles on your screen now. One from Chopper 2, showing a better angle of the extent of this damage. 20 stories of collapse onto a sidewalk below. A playground was down there. And again, nobody injured in this one. Everybody out here today saying the same thing over and over again. Everybody involved got lucky out here. We're going to continue our coverage of this collapse moving forward into our evening shows. We'll have much more coming up on CBS New York at 6. Right now, live in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx, Devlin, CBS News, New York.
Incredibly fortunate. Alan, thank you. And as soon as that explosion happened, Dan Rice was in Chopper 2, giving us a view of what's left of the building and of the work still ahead.
Stories high, you can see where all that brick got pulled away and just blew apart from the top of the building. Look at the air conditioning units on the right side of your screen. You can see the force at which that explosion happened, taking out those air conditioning units, destroying others in their windows. We come back down to the ground, and you see nothing but a pile of bricks down here at the base of the building. I want you to look at that door that's on the left side of your video there. You got to figure that's about a 7-foot tall door, and the bricks go as high as that door, just about there. We look inside, you can see what remains of that unit that was at the base of this shaft down there. And look at the right side of that structure there. You can see 4 layers of bricks that made up that shaft, and yet all those bricks just blew apart outward into the street below.
Well, at least 100 people had to evacuate after this collapse, and the Red Cross is now trying to help those families find a temporary place to stay. Zinnia Maldonado continues our coverage now from the Bronx.
We're here at the Mitchell Community Center around the corner from where the explosion took place. Residents have been coming in and out of here throughout the day to catch their breath, grab something to eat, and those we spoke with tell us they hope to be back inside their apartments as soon as it's deemed safe to do so.
A young man said, "Get on my back." 4 or 5 other people helped me down 5 flights of steps.
Miss Duke and many of her neighbors still shaken up from Wednesday's explosion.
Very scary. And then to be in a situation and be in the house by yourself and you're sick, it's not a good feeling.
Can't go back to their apartments because until they have an escort go with them to check out to see how much damage was done.
Officials say those living in roughly 40 units inside the Mitchell houses will be temporarily put up in hotels.
We have structural engineers that have been doing an assessment of the foundation, the impacted wing, and the roof. We have some demolitions crews that are coming in to remove the remnants of the chimney.
The Red Cross setting up shop inside the Mitchell Community Center.
We just grabbed her and just left.
One woman tells us she and her family ran down 18 flights of stairs.
I didn't know if the building was going to come down because I saw the bricks falling.
Those displaced still figuring out their next move.
It's sad that we really, as New Yorkers, we got to go through this, you know? We never expect for something to happen like this, and going through it is just like, what's next?
City officials say they are working to restore hot water and gas. Those services remain shut off as they continue to investigate and also clean up. From the Mott Haven section of the Bronx, Zinnia, Maldonado, CBS News, New York.
To watch the full news conference and video of the moment of this collapse, head to cbsnewyork.com.